Well, we hope that the full Court of Appeal will. Well, you know that the injunction is in place, first of all. Um, that was not upset by this full court. And we hope that, as we prayed for in our application, the full court will vary the order of the single judge and extend the injunction to cover until the appeal is heard, the full determination of the appeal.
Are you satisfied with what transpired in court today? It seemed at times, this is just an outsider's perspective, that you all were fighting uphill because the precedents nor the law necessarily support the binding nature or the needfulness of a referendum.
I will not deny that it is not the easiest of cases, but I thought that our side made sufficient points to distinguish the one Privy Council case that everybody refers to, which is the decision of Veos that started here in Belize. But we believe that we made sufficient points to attempt to distinguish that, and hopefully the court will be attracted to those points of distinction.
It has been an extraordinary weekend in terms of weekend hearings, Sunday hearings, 6 a.m. hearings. At the end of it, do you feel it will have all been worth it?
Well, absolutely. I feel it would have been worth it, regardless of how the decision goes, Jules, because I think it's good for democracy. It's invigorating for the democratic process. And you know, a lot of people have said, well, how did this come about? How come they sit on Saturday, Sunday, etc., 6 in the morning? It's actually, there's nothing extraordinary about that in other places. Courts meet to deal. They provide a service, just like every other service provider. They get paid to provide a service. And providing you can show that your situation merits an emergency hearing, courts should do it. It happens all the time in many parts of the Commonwealth.
How do you respond? The other side made a criticism that this is all just political, that your clients are political operatives, and all the motivation for all this is political, and the court should not affect what the opposition could not do in the legislature.
Well, this is not the first case in which issue of referendum arises. In the Veos case that everybody refers to, lawyers on both sides, judges at every stage, that deals with referendum and what is the meaning of the Referendum Act and when it should be held, etc. We have followed right in the wake of that case. This case is about the Referendum Act, the democratic process, and under what conditions and under what the timing of referendums, when it should be held or when it shouldn't be held. Nobody will deny that the case emanates from a political context. Everything in Belize is hugely political, as we all know. So in that sense, it's political, but certainly the actual claim that's brought is legal. And the simple proof of that is that at no stage, neither before the Chief Justice, nor before the single judge, nor indeed before the Court of Appeal, has any, at none of those stages have any of the judges said this is a frivolous and vexatious claim. Chief Justice Benjamin characterized it as a serious issue. He wasn't persuaded. And for the same reason, if the single judge did not think that it merited an emergency hearing, he would have he may throw it out. He would have thrown it out.
Had very little prospect for success.
He did say that, but that is not the same thing as saying it's a frivolous case, it's brought for political motives, etc. It has a meaning in law.
Is that the end of it, Godfrey? Tomorrow, when the ruling is made, will that be the end of it, or do you still have...
Well, it depends on what is the outcome of the decision of the full court. After we see what they have to say, after we read what we have to say, just as we did when we got the decision from the Supreme Court, we will take it on advisement. We will examine the decision and see where we go from there.